Let me tell you about this woman. I love her to death. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessye Norman. She was born in 1945 in the United States of America, in a tiny town of the state Georgia. At the time, Georgia was still very much segregated, and she went to a segregated school.
But my thoughts about what my life could be was certainly not limited to what the circumstances of my life.
Her entire family were amateur musicians. At the age of 4 years old, she was already singing in church with apparently an amazing voice. She was about 10 years old, and on the Saturday afternoon, she needed to do her chores in the house. While she was doing her duties, she was listening to the opera broadcast of the Metropolitan Opera in New York. I remember thinking that opera stories were not very different from regular stories. A boy meets a girl, they fall in love, they cannot be together for some reason, and most of the time, it does not end happily ever after.
Do you realize, audience, how much fun I'm having here?
At the age of 16, she sang for the voice teacher in Howard University, who said,
"Well, I suppose you'd have to finish high school before you could come to school here." She went down to the dean of the college and said, "I want to teach this child." That's how I happened to have a scholarship to Howard University.
After graduating, she traveled to Europe to start her career, and in 1968, she won the ARD International Music Competition in Munich.
Quite unexpectedly for me, and nobody in the audience knew at all that it was my birthday.
Which led her to a 3-year contract with the Berlin Opera. And it's on that stage that at 23 years old, she sang Wagner. But she only started to appear on the American opera stages when she was 37 years old. That's almost 15 years after she started on the Berlin Opera stage. The thing that I love about Jessye is that in whatever language she sang in, her diction was always perfect. In fact, she made a point about only singing in languages that she spoke. Therefore, she was fluent in German,
Nein, das macht mich nicht ängstlich.
French,
Il faut quand même, parce que j'aime beaucoup chanter en France.
Italian, and understood and read many other languages, including Hungarian, for example. She is most famous for her performances in Wagner's operas, German Lied,
Den Erlenkönig mit Kron und Schweif,
French Melody, and spirituals. She sang roles that were supposed to be from different voice types. In 1989, she was invited by the French government to sing La Marseillaise for the 200th anniversary of the French Revolution. In 2003, the Jessye Norman School of the Arts opened in her hometown. And in 2014, she releases her beautiful memoirs. A year later, she suffered a spinal cord injury, which will eventually take her life in 2019. Jessye Norman was not only a singer, but she was a speaker, a poet, a writer. That's why she was not only an amazing artist, but she had also a fantastic and charismatic personality.